there's a cool new game where you have to connect these dots, and then after you connect these dots, all of a sudden they disappear. Like, this idea, it seems so brand new. This could make a really cool mobile game. I already submitted like emails towards Blizzard. They might even try and make application out of this. I might even get some revenue cut out of it as well. But man, Blizzard is coming up with these cool little mini games that I've never seen before. So overall, I do feel that 8.2 is a big patch. There's a lot of things to do, and for people who do not enjoy 8.2, wait 2 weeks until the real content is released. Hello guys, welcome to my new video, and today I'll be answering the one question that I get asked the most on my stream /MadSkillzzTV on Twitch. We're doing the most boring and the plebeiest content out there. If you want to come down and just hang out, you can do it. You can do it. It's down there. And the one question that I get asked the most: hey there, MadSkillz, long time viewer. I love your videos. Your guides are so awesome. I'm just wondering if 8.2 is worth for me to come back, even though you have a ginger beard. It's so glorious. I really want to know your opinion on this. By the way, where are you from? Because you kind of sound funny. And today I'll be answering that question. Is 8.2 worth coming back for, or is 8.2 fun? Now, first of all, there is a big heat wave, and if you manage to play 8.2 during, or at least if you're based in Europe, during this heat wave, you'll notice how hard it is to do it. And myself, I managed to do a solid 15-hour gameplay for the last couple of days, which kind of, you know, I'm not wearing pants, like, it's too hot, there's mosquitoes attacking me because I have to open windows. There are perils at playing this game at this point, at this, you know, summer heat wave. So I commend anyone in Europe who's done this. And I've grinded a lot. I've done, like I mentioned, 15-hour days where I will try level multiple characters. I'll do all of the quests. And a lot of people might be asking, like, what is 8.2 all about? First of all, the biggest thing about 8.2 is that right now the content that you get is not, it's very little. Like, I mean, there is a lot of stuff to do, but in the next 2 weeks, Season 3 is going to open. Season 3 is going to open up Eternal Palace Raid. It's going to open up Mythic Plus and a new Mythic Plus affix, Beguiling, whether you like it or not. Mythic Plus rewards are going to go up by quite a bit, so it's going to be worth farming Mythic Plus. You're also going to get Mechagon, a new dungeon that's going to, you know, new essence is going to be unlocked. So all of a sudden, in 2 weeks, the end game is going to begin. So basically, before that's going to happen, or the start of 8.2 is all about that grinding. And if I go back to my notes that I have for this video, because I am a professional YouTuber, I have to prepare, you know, the stuff. There's not a lot of notes here that I'm seeing. I mean, it's all basically the same thing over and over again. So for the next 2 weeks, it's all about that grind. The most important thing about this: is this grind meaningful? Is it fun? And I mentioned this in a lot of my videos. There is a lot of grinding in Classic, and a lot of people differentiate between Classic and BfA, is that in Classic it's rewarding and you want to do it, and in BfA you don't really care about this. So is BfA grind, or at least the first part of the grind, is it good? First of all, let's look at Nazjatar. And Nazjatar is a new area. It's part of, you know, there's two areas, there's Mechagon and Nazjatar right now. It's required for a lot of the classes to grind the reputation here, because essences are going to be unlocked. Same for Megagon. A lot of the essences are going to be unlocked through reputation. So it is very important to grind reputation. And if you're human, you can get more reputation, things like that. Now, I'll try to provide somewhat unbiased views. First of all, let's look at the two new zones that I mentioned before. The grind is insane. You need to grind reputation. There's going to be dailies. Now, in terms of the time consumption that is required per one character, I'm gonna have to say between 3 and 4 hours. So that is a substantial gain to do Nazjatar, to do Mechagon, and then to grind your emissary quest, because you still need to get AP. Because surprise, surprise, the new zones do not really give you a lot of AP. And there's a reason for that, because Blizzard wants you to grind the reputation for the new zones and then grind AP with the old world quest, because they want the old world quest to still be relevant in the game. So all of a sudden, for one character, every day you kind of have to log in and spend 3 hours doing it. I've been doing it on 2 characters, and this has become way bigger burden than I thought it was going to be. It is insane to do it on 2 characters to an extent that I'm getting really burnt out, and it kind of spurred a thought that maybe essences, or at least reputation, for Nazjatar and Mechagon possibly should be account-wide, because it is going to be insane for me to try and get exalted with those reputations so I can get my, you know, the best healer essence, E or T. It's very good for most of the healers, it is tied behind reputation, and it's going to be really, really boring and hard for me to get on 5 alts. Now there's also a question that, hey, MadSkillz, this game is not intended for alts. You're supposed to make a choice who's going to be your main character and just stick with it because that's the way it is. You're not supposed to have 5 alts, and I kind of understand that. There is class identity in Legion where having a certain spec or putting AP into a certain spec was really important, and all of a sudden your main character was really a main character. In BfA, I feel at least in 8.15, having multiple alts was the only reason I kept playing the game. Like the only reason, because there was like 2 months or a month of basically dead zone period where there was nothing happening. If I only had 1 character, I probably would have stopped playing the game. So I have multiple characters and I want to gear up multiple characters, and this is really, really extremely hard in 8.2. There is a lot of content. Nazjatar, in my opinion, is actually a fun zone. I think both of the zones are actually pretty fun. Keep in mind that flying is probably going to be unlocked in the next couple of weeks with the reputation grind, so it's going to become very, very easy to, you know, start doing your world quest. The big disadvantage towards alts is that AP, there is a catch-up for AP. You're gonna get artifact knowledge increasing every week and things like that. The reputation gain, there is no catch-up for it outside of the contracts, and the contracts are going to be available for each of their reputations after a scribe becomes revered with one of them. And the reputation gain is not really that massive. I feel there's a perfect amount of content for 1 character, but for alts, it's becoming far too difficult. Now, I would love to hear your opinion on whether that's a good or a bad thing. Should class identity be a thing where you pick a main and you stick with a main? Me personally, who enjoys having multiple characters and kind of it prolongs my gameplay by having multiple characters, I feel that there should be a catch-up for alt essences. I really feel that maybe their reputation should be account-wide, because Blizzard did that before with Champions of Azeroth, so it's not a new thing. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. In terms of Mechagon, I feel Mechagon is actually a pretty fun zone as well. Again, many people might not be aware of this, but Mechagon zone itself is the exact dungeon, Mechagon. And in the dungeon, because I tested on the PTR, you actually, at least half the bosses are in the island, and then you get to go down, and then there's tons of bosses there as well. So overall, Mechagon I thought was a really fun dungeon on PTO. That's going to be released in the next 2 weeks. Honestly, it's one of the most fun dungeons I did. It has like hard modes. I can't wait to do it. So these 2 weeks, basically, the whole idea is that you grind. Go and grind, get your reputation, because essences are coming from a lot of different zones. I am a big fan of essences, I'll be honest with you. You know why I'm a big fan of essences? Because let's say Crucible of Flame, an essence that I've been using to level and things like that. I use it to DPS or do damage to a mob, or sometimes to heal myself. I use it a lot. I see the benefit of using it. I see it hitting mobs. I see it healing me. Now, this kind of pushes me towards, hey MadSkillz, do a bit of more grinding and you get rank 2 of this essence, and it's gonna do more damage and more healing, and you're gonna be a super pleb. And it kind of drives me towards doing it. I can see the results. So I feel it's already so much better than Azeroth system, because Azeroth system, you just kind of get this chest piece, shoulders or helm, and you kind of, you know, click this, and you get these passive abilities that, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if it's going to be great or amazing. Like, I'm not really seeing the huge benefits. Maybe my numbers are being increased, but I'm not really seeing it. But with essences, you can really feel the power gain by getting rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. You can feel it, and I feel already this is going to be a big incentive for a lot of players to, hey, push that rank 2, push that rank 3, get those really cool powerful essences, and then maybe even get rank 4, which is going to be a completely cosmetic upgrade and make your abilities look even cooler. So I already enjoying essences way more than I thought that I would, and I feel a lot of people might enjoy it as well. But the bad things about 8.2 is definitely, I'm going to talk about sharding or phasing or whatever you're going to call it. It is ridiculously bad. There are multiple quests out there. I think the starfish quest was probably the prime example, where a lot of the people were like, oh hey, I'm about to pick a starfish and it just disappears because of phasing. On world PvP, we're about to attack some horde and they just disappear. Sharding is actually a complete joke. It completely devalues the whole integration into the game. It doesn't make it feel like a multiplayer game. It makes it feel like almost a gimmicky game to some extent. Honestly, it is completely broken at the moment. Something needs to be done about sharding, because it doesn't contribute anything towards player experience other than making the game more stable outside of the, you know, the engineering standpoint. And it makes sense because there's a tons of people might joining 8.2 and they need ways of preventing people from crashing. So there needs to be a solution, but phasing sharding is not a solution. It is actually highly detrimental to player grinding experience right now. Overall, I think essences are great. They keep me playing the game. I want to increase essence power because I can see the results, and I can't wait when the real content is released, where you can do Mythic Plus, where you can do the new raid, where you can do the new Mechagon dungeon as well. In 2 weeks, the end game continues. Right now, grind. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.